morning, everyone. Okay, here we go. Every year I like to do something different for the holiday seasons. Kind of give you guys an idea of something you might want to try out as gifting or just serving as a party snack or something like that. And I've been thinking about this for a while, and I've done peanut brittle freeze dried, and it is delicious. It puffs up, and how do you describe it? It just dissolves in your mouth. Unlike peanut brittle from the raw, it's very hard to chew and gets sticky to your teeth and all that stuff. So it's really nice freeze dried. But today we're going to go one step farther, and we're going to freeze dry it, and then we're going to coat it and dip it in chocolate, because that sounds really good. And just want to give you guys a heads up that my freeze dryer is an old 2019 model. I think, yeah, 2019. And I don't have candy mode, so I'm just going to run this as a regular load. So if you have candy mode, all your settings might be different or something like that, but I've had it pretty much success with peanut brittle anyway, just on regular mode. Now I won't put this on the bottom tray in the freeze dryer, because that tends to be the coolest. I'll probably put it up on the top so it get nice and hot up there. The heat rises, you know, as it's being vacuumed and all that stuff, but it's hotter up top. So that's probably where I'll put this one tray that we're going to do. So I went out and bought some market side Walmart brand peanut brittle, because I've always had good success with their brittle. And we're going to just put kind of smallish chunks on there, because it does puff up quite a bit, or at least it can anyway. So we want this manageable sizes so that we can coat it in chocolate and not be so huge. Now I'm just using a small hammer. You can use anything you got. Kind of break that up into smaller chunks. Eat those crumbs later. Alright, don't want to overcrowd it, but I want to get as many good pieces as I can get in there. There you go. So, there we go. That's how I kind of laid it out on the tray. So we'll get that into the next freeze dryer load. I'm not going to worry about freezing this, pre-freezing it. I have 3 trays of something else that I've pre-freezed. Actually, my last video, if you're seeing this, I think, which would be my, I always forget the name of that, loaded baked potato soup. I love peanut brittle. That's already pre-frozen, so I'm getting ready to fire up the freeze dryer and get that loaded, and we'll load this in with it. And short video, but we'll see you when this comes out of the freeze dryer. And here we go. There you guys go. Look at that puff peanut brittle. normal settings. I don't have candy settings on my machine, so I just ran the normal with everything else that was in the freeze dryer. And look how nicely it popped up. Really nice. Now, we're going to be dipping this in chocolate tomorrow. So I'm just going to, I got these snack size sandwich bags. So I'm just going to put them in that for overnight. And they should be okay. If you were not going to do it right away, you could put these in a Mylar bag and seal it up, but I think these will be good overnight. Just like that, zipped up shut. Alright, we'll get those dipped tomorrow. Kept 1/8 out to show you what it looks like. Oh man. Those are going to taste great coated in chocolate, but you know what? They taste great just the way they are. I love freeze-dried peanut brittle. Alright, so I'll see you tomorrow when we dip these in chocolate. Okay, chores are done. It's time to do some dipping. So what I did was, I got some of these dry roasted peanuts and chopped them up for like a coating after we dip them. Kind of make them look pretty. And I was watching a lady on YouTube, and she said that she makes a nice dip in chocolate by combining two different things. The Ghirardelli, I'll be saying that wrong, don't correct me. I'm an old man, old dogs don't learn new tricks. But Ghirardelli dark chocolate melting wafers, and combining that with Ghirardelli sweet chocolate, bittersweet chocolate chips, and that makes a nice chocolate flavor with a melting texture. Does that make sense? I think it does. So she does an even amount of each. So let me get my measuring cup. Get my melting pot ready. I'm going to put, looks like, hopefully I can get all this in there. I'm going to put a cup of chocolate chips, dark chocolate chips. And then a cup of these melting wafers. We'll start off with that and see if that's enough chocolate for now. We don't have a lot to dip here. So, I'm going to turn this on. The dial says 86 and 104. We'll go about halfway between there for now. We'll just keep an eye on that. We want it to get nice and soft. And we'll let that get melted. So I'll see you once it's melted. Alright, I melted that 1 cup of each down, and although it would probably be plenty of chocolate to cover these, there wasn't a lot of depth to the chocolate, and we want to be able to roll them around in a nice deep pot. So I went ahead and added the whole package. Each package weighed 10 ounces, so perfect way to do the 50-50 thing. So here we have our chocolate. Get that out of the way for now. And I did up the temperature to 104 on this. There you go, nice and runny now. one bag up and just start dipping. Just drop it in. I like to use 2 forks. Just give it a good toss in there. Tap off the excess chocolate. You're looking to get 100% coating on there, no holes. So you just want to make sure it gets totally coated. Oh, John. Drip that chocolate on me. I'm going to turn into the chocolate man. Dip that. And then we just drop it on our parchment lined tray. And we'll take some of our chopped peanuts and just sprinkle a little bit on top. Make them kind of look pretty. I'll press on with this and I'll be right back. Okay, we'll let those solidify and I'll come back and we'll trim them up and do a nice display. So I'll see you then. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to save this chocolate for future use. I'm putting it in a microwave safe bowl. That way, and then we'll cover this obviously once it solidifies. And then once we're ready to use it, I can just gently heat that bowl up enough to get the chocolate out, and then we'll chop it up and use it again. Always got to plan ahead. So if I let it solidify in here, we'd have to heat it in a pot and worry about it scorching. But by doing it this way, we can heat that bowl up just enough to loosen the chocolate up. We'll take the chocolate out, put it on a chopping board or something, and chop it up into nice big pieces. Throw it in a pot where you melt it again. It'll be just as good as new. So we'll see you once these have all set up. Okay, while I was letting that chocolate harden up, I noticed that we have a new member to my group. So I'd like to welcome Carrie Condon to the members area. I hope you enjoy the little perks that we have, and thank you for joining the group. Your help is greatly appreciated. So, I noticed when this was setting up that it took a while for that chocolate to get kind of hard, and I'm not 100% sure I like the mixture. I might next time go with just the straight melts. The melts seem to harden up pretty well. I mean, these did do it after a while, but it's a gentle, very quickly to melt chocolate. So we're just gonna take these right now, clean up anything that's on them that's coming off. Yeah, I'm just not 100% happy with how these are setting up. These have been out for several hours. I had to go to the store and get some gloves because you never want to work with chocolate with your bare hands because you will definitely leave fingerprints all over them. But this chocolate is so soft that the strands are just breaking off. I don't need to trim them. So, lesson learned. That was a great idea, but it didn't work for me. Definitely go with either just all chocolate chips and worry about getting it too hot for the tempering, or the melts. Melts are really easy to work with. It's very forgiving. So, and they got good flavor, especially the Ghirardelli. So, get these all loosened up. Yeah, I'm just not too happy with the chocolate texture. It didn't dry enough for me. I like a more firmer texture. What I'll do is we can pop these in the fridge, and I'll just store them in the fridge in a airtight container. All right, let me get these displayed up real quick, and I'll be right back. All right, there's only one more thing to do, and that is give it a taste test. Oh yeah. Oh man. Those are gorgeous. That is almost like a Reese's peanut butter cup, but better. Oh man, these ain't gonna last long. Oh yeah. You guys have got to make these. Like I say, ignore my mixing the two types of chips. The chocolate's too soft. I'd go with the melting chips because I know those firm up. Melting wafers. I bought Ghirardelli's dark chocolate ones, but I've used the Hobby Lobby ones and the Michael's melting wafers. Both of those have a dark chocolate, and they're both very good too. So we try something new all the time. We don't always win. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we don't. Almond Joy's got nuts. Mounds don't. Y'all remember that. If you're old enough, you remember that. These are gorgeous. Oh man. All right. Now, the stock storage. I have coated fruits and other things that are very susceptible to the humidity in the air, and as long as you get a good chocolate coating on that, totally sealed, and much more firmer than this too, but a good chocolate coating on that, atmospheric moisture cannot get to that center for weeks and weeks. I've gone a month of the coated fruits and stuff that I've done the past videos, just putting them in a Ziploc bag, leaving them on the counter for a month, and bit into them. They're still crunchy in the middle, so they will last. I mean, eventually the moisture does get through, but you know, if you shoot for 2 or 3 weeks, you can't go wrong. And I don't know what else to tell you about that, but they'll store longer in the fridge, by the way, as well. So only problem with putting them in the fridge is the chocolate will blossom over time and start and get a grayish color on it, and that's the fat cocoa butter coming through, if there is cocoa butter, or the fat coming through on the chocolate. Doesn't affect the chocolate at all, doesn't affect the taste at all, but it's just not as pretty. But I'm going to pop these in the fridge, cover them in a sealed container, and let those firm up better and eat them that way. Like I say, take my advice, learn from my mistakes, go straight with the straight wafers. That's my opinion anyway. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope you try this. That's going to be a great treat over the holiday seasons coming up. Anybody want to wish me a Merry Christmas coming up? All right, we'll see you next time.